So in the number 5 exercise, there's no arm movement, but we do have a change in the position of our feet. So we're beginning in the usual parallel posture, feet pointing straight ahead, and at the moment we're just slightly seated in the posture, not all the way down as at the end of the number 3 exercise. So we're going to be turning the body 90 degrees. So firstly what we need to do is make sure we adjust the back foot so that it supports our knee when we turn. If we were just simply to turn without adjusting the back foot, you can see we collapse the knee in. So I'm going to turn with my left leg as the back leg. So the first thing I'm going to do as I turn is turn on the heel of my left foot to turn my left foot in about 15 to 20 degrees. Now the exact position of your left foot will depend on how open you are in the hip joint. So when you're turning towards this side, check the position of your knee. Move your weight across to the back leg, the left leg, and then turn your waist, turning out your front foot, so that you'll now turn to the side. Check that your left knee is now in line with your left toes, and try and turn your body as much as possible to the direction your right toes are pointing in. Now you're going to have much more weight on the left leg than the right leg in this position, perhaps 80-20 or even 90-10. To do the number 5 exercise movement, we simply move down in the same way as we did in the number 1 or number 2 exercise. We sink the feet, bend the knees and sit the hips. Now because of the unequal weight distribution, when we relax down, the back knee will drop, and when we bend the front knee will draw the body forwards. So there'll be a change in our weight distribution, and you want to move as much as you can into the position where you feel about the same amount of weight on both feet. This means that your central axis will be between your feet. You will also feel increase of pressure in the back foot because of the loading up. So we've loaded in the back leg because that's where we've dropped the back knee. You then push into the ground with the back foot to release back to the original height, and then drawing from the hip joints, soften the back foot to draw the body back to the original position. And then repeat the same movement again, downward, bending both knees towards the toes, sitting in both hip joints. Push into the ground with the left foot to release, coming back to the original height, and then sink with the back foot and draw the hips back to the original position. Now you can do this movement as many times as you like. Generally we do 5. If you're not very used to the movement, you might want to do 3. You could do more than 5 if you like to. When you come back for the last movement, draw the weight all the way back until you can bring the front foot off the ground. Keep settling the weight into the back leg while you move the front foot. Try not to fight against the back leg. Try to keep relaxing through the structure. Draw the toe in, push through to the heel, draw the toe in, push through to the heel, draw the toe in, push through to the heel. Now you can change legs, turning the right foot in now 15 or 20 degrees, shifting the weight to the right leg, and then turning out the left foot. So the same as before, make sure that when you turn the foot in there's enough support for your back knee, so your back knee is pointing in the same direction as your back toes, not collapsed inwards. And notice again that your weight distribution is more over the back leg than the front. Try to feel both feet in contact with the ground. Sink with the feet, bend the knees and sit the hips. So again we're moving into a position where we feel the weight distribution change, even though we feel increased pressure on the back leg than on the front due to the loading up. Push into the ground to release from the back foot, and then sink with the back foot and draw the hip joints back to the original position. And again you repeat as many times as you like. Keeping the hips seated all the time, keeping the body upright and relaxed. And then when you're ready to sit back, draw all the weight back until you free up the front foot, and again keep relaxing through the structure of the back leg as you move the front foot. Now it's important with the number 5 exercise that we still think of letting go and relaxing from the base. So we're not pushing ourselves down from above. Now some people find that their ankle and or calf muscle is quite tight, and so this kind of movement tends to tighten up in those areas. Make sure that you're always sinking from the feet first. The sinking from the feet creates space for the ankle, the calf muscle, the knee and the hip to relax. So always make sure you're beginning from the root rather than pushing down from above. So I'll do another set on each side, and this time I'll face towards you so you can see the movement from a different angle. So beginning with the left foot as the back foot, I turn my left foot in, I bring my weight to my left leg and I turn out my front toes. My waist is directed towards the direction of my right toes. Most of my weight is on my left leg. Keeping both hips seated, I relax down. When I release, I also keep the hips seated. And when I want to sit back, I sink from the back foot and draw the hips back. And I repeat the same movement again, downward. Just thinking of a downward movement like the number 1 or number 2. Push up from the back foot, try to keep the same vertical axis and draw to sit back. Downward. Up to release, sitting back on the horizontal. So when you finish doing the number that you want to do, settling the weight through the back foot as you move the front foot. Try not to fight against the movement, try not to tense up. We actually want to relax through the foot into the ground. Let the ground support you as you do the movement. Your focus should be on the back leg, not the front leg, as the back leg is the one doing the supporting. Okay, so now I'll show you from the other leg. So again, turning the back foot in, shifting the weight to the back leg, turning out the front toes. Downward movement. Loading, back knee drops gives the loading up, push up from the back foot gives the release. And then sink from the back foot and draw the hips back. And repeat the same movement. Down, release, sit back with the hips. So do what you like with the arms, I'm just showing you the positions. And again, when you've done the right number, moving the front foot while relaxing through the back leg. So I just want to show you in a little bit more detail what happens with the back knee. So we turn the back foot in, the whole leg turns, we shift the weight across and turn out the front foot. When we relax down, there's a dropping of the back knee. So here's my knee drops. When we release, there'll be a slight straightening of the knee back to the original position, but then the knee stays in position as we sit back. So there's a dropping of the knee, a releasing, the knee comes back up, sitting back, the knee stays in position. When you come to the end of the session, so you do as many times as you want to do each side, we can go into a closing up, which brings us back to the preparation posture. So turn your front foot in 45 degrees and bring the weight to the front foot. As you turn to face the front, spiral into the right leg, so the front leg, draw in the other heel, equalise the weight and push up from both feet. And that takes us to the end of the 5 exercises and potentially the beginning of the Tai Chi form.